but according to research, um, we have lots of opportunities to use this information, but our problem, maybe we're making less of plans, or maybe we are using too much of emotions in the school time. But still, we shouldn't be disappointed with the problems at school. I'm sure you're having, if you're older than 40 years old, for example, you can remember the problems of kids in 90s or in 2000s. It was different, right? But right now, kids have very different problems. It depends on, I don't know, on telephone, on family upbringing. And for us, it's important to change. If it was the problem that kid is lazy 20 years ago, we were saying that he is lazy and we should give him 2 punches and he will be better and he will study. But right now, the world is changing and the problems are changing too. So it means as teachers, we also should be able to adapt to the new world. So let's see, what do we have here? An effective teacher has to do 2 things. It is knowing ourselves good, okay? And how can we know ourselves is by testing the ones who we already did and the ones which are in the internet platform so much that you can just find out in Google Scholar or just Google. And when you see that amount of tests, you will see that how easy it is to know ourselves better. And the second, how can we know ourselves better? In the beginning, do you remember we made deep breathings, deep breaths, and we were noticing right now what is happening, what is going to right now and right here. What was the last time when you really was thinking about what is your mood, or what do you want from today? Because for me it was really fast, and I couldn't notice that it's already half of 2020 has passed. Okay, today is 4th of July, and we have only 6 months till the end of the year. I remember just a few days when I was thinking about life or about myself, and it was the day when quarantine has started. We stopped working on offline and we changed to online. And then I was thinking, if I'm not working, who am I? What can I do at home? Because when you don't stay at home for a long time, you think that food is somehow is preparing, or the house should be cleaned only once a week, but you stay at home for a longer time and you start to realize that some things are really has changed at your home and you have to adapt to that one. So we know ourselves better first, and the second, we know our student, the one who are we working with well. Also, we can do it by tests, by observing, and by establishing a strong communication with family. As a psychologist, we are doing the observing every month in each class, maybe 2 or 3 hours. And even that one is not easy and is not enough. Why is it written that not only in classroom, but also in the garden? Imagine a student who has very strict parents, and parents say, you must sit in the class very quietly, and you have to listen to the teacher. And that student is sitting in the class and he is very quiet. He is not lazy. He is doing everything what is told by teacher. But later, you're looking at him in the garden and you see that student is not quite actually. He is very funny. He is so active and he wants to play for a long time. And then you start to realize maybe he has some filters or maybe he has different values. And only because his parents wants to sit, it doesn't really mean that he is understanding what's going on in the class. Because we think that if the student doesn't understand, he will ask questions, right? But even asking questions is not easy for all students. And for us, it's important to encourage the students to say them again and again to ask if they don't understand something. And establishing strong communication with family. I don't know how is it in Indonesia, but here there is something I feel is fear. Our teachers are kind of not willing to speak with parents because they think that they will start to criticize or they will say something that the teachers will not find the answer to say. I don't find it normal. I think that every teacher has to have communication with parents at least once a week. There should be a dialogue between the student and parent. Why is it important? Because imagine that one day the student was sick, but still the family is sending him to school, even if he is ill and doesn't feel well. And but on that day, you as a teachers had to make an exam, had to take a test or something. And of course, the students will make that because he wasn't feeling well and his brain is not functioning in the way that it should be. And then you put him, I don't know, what do you use? D or 2 or 10 points. And then parents start to yell at you and say why he has this note, and you show him that to the parent the test paper, and he say, "Oh, okay." But actually, the student isn't guilty because he couldn't make the test. And imagine another situation: parent is calling you and saying, "Okay, hello. Alex is sick today, so he will come to school, but still I want you to know that he is not feeling well." And you treat that student in that way. You keep in mind that he may not show his full potential because when we are sick, um, there are lots of different hormones which secrete in our body and they influence our good functioning of brain. That's why when the person is sick, he wants to lie down, he wants to be taken care, okay? That's why it's important to have communication with family. About the tests, by the way, if you need, I can make a list of the ones that you used. I'm not sure you can find all of them, but still, if you have that list, maybe it will be good for you. Yes, and next. Along with the previous necessary things, what is important for effective teaching? We have 8 moments, okay? 8 points that we should talk about. And we will talk about them detailed also. First one is self-development. For me and for the world, I think if we don't get better and better, we are going to the backside. Okay, imagine this one as a road and there are cars. The car who is getting faster, who is taking more speed, he's going to the in front, to the front, right? And the car which is not very fast and which is have some problems or which is slowly, he is leaving and he is staying in the back sides. And the same with the life. If we make ourselves better, if we put knowledge, if we take some trainings, then we go to the front part. And it's not easy us to replace, for example. That's why self-development is important. Planned life. Do you remember we were speaking about leadership? That, for example, red colors are good leaders, but blue color personalities has planned for everything. So at this point, blue colors are successful because they have planned for everything. And for us, it's also important point. If we don't plan it, if we don't have a plan for our life, how is it possible for us to teach kids to plan their life? Okay, if we drink coffee ourselves, we cannot tell kids to not to drink, isn't it? So that's why we should learn to plan our life, not just whole life, but also every day. Career plan. Today you are working at school, but tomorrow you may want to work at university, or you may want to be another professional. Maybe you will go to academic life, and maybe you will want to be a professor or something. That's why to making a career is also important. 4, this one is kind of psychological part. What is important to me in life? Okay. When you think about it, you can make a list, right? You say my family, or my friends, my reputation, my teaching, my work is important. Yes, it's perfect that you know it, but here's another question. Do other people know about it, that these ones are important for you? This is a very important question, that other people know about your values. I will explain why in a while. You remember I spoke about planned life, and for planning we have a matrix which is called Eisenhower matrix. We are going to discuss about it right now, and then we will see what other 4 points we have. So sometimes we have too much to do, right? Is it happening to you also? I think yes. We have kids, we have plans to do, we have work to do, we have housework as women, and maybe we should finish, I don't know, maybe you help to your sister or something. We have so many things that our head is aching and we feel helpless. At that moment, I want you all. Okay, I want you all to use this table. Look at this matrix. In each matrix, we have, okay, look, like this, I can show. We have importance and urgency matter. On the left top, you have something which is very urgent and very important. So this means that you have to do it yourself in a very quick time, because it's both important and urgent. Sometimes there may be there may be work that is very important but not urgent. Maybe you should go to the dentist, okay, to the doctor. It is important because it's your health, but not urgent because it's not aching, okay? It's not giving you too much pain. So what do? You are scheduling it, you're planning, you're telling, okay, after 1 week, at this day, I will go there. Next, at the bottom on the left, some things are not important but urgent. Not important, I mean that it might be not important for you as a person, but it might be a report that you have to finish today or tomorrow or something. And if it's really urgent but not important for you, and it shouldn't be done, very detailed, or it doesn't need your knowledge of something, but it should be done today, you can delegate. Delegates mean to give this work to another, your team worker, to a colleague, to your daughter, to your friend, or something. Okay? And the last one, some works are really not important and not urgent. You will find this out when you write down all that works. And if it's not very important, you can just forget about them. Okay? If it's, for example, schools, again, report. But it's not urgent and it's even not important. It's just something that you want to do it for yourself, but it's not really important. You can live this life without that report. You can just forget about it for a longer time and don't do it. Okay. I have sent already the first two presentations, and this one I'm going to send it also. So you may remember the matrix again, if you didn't remember now. So what are the other 4 plays? It's nutrition, sleep, exercise. I'm going to open it. This is very important. We're human, and it's important what we eat, how we rest, and what we feel physically. Time management, it's close to the planning, but it's still very important. Physical care, clothing, we're going to open it. Good and effective speech. We do work because we can speak, right? If we couldn't, I think we would choose something else, some other work. But because we are having an ability to speak, we are teachers. So why don't we use it in the best way? So why don't we improve it? Maybe we should take some courses to speak good and influencing people. And we're going to speak again right now about this. We have spoken about self-development, and self-development not only in our subject, okay? If you are a teacher of history, not only about history, but also personal development. You can answer by yourself, how many personal courses have you taken in the last 6 months, okay, in 2020? Okay, maybe the timing is not good. How many courses have you taken during the last year? But not the courses about your subject or about school, but the real personal one, to become more motivated, or to, for example, body language, or maybe something that you wanted for a long time, language learning, for example, for really yourself. And if your answer is that you haven't taken, maybe it's time to think about it. And if you have taken, good job, do and keep it in this way. So we have told that it's divided into 2. First part is, of course, about school, about academic life. We're teachers, we have to be good at our subject. And it's divided into 3. First, it's subject information, branch information. If we are a physics teacher, we should know everything about it, right? I'm sure you all know it. And this is the great part of being a teacher. We're good at what we do. But the second one, field education knowledge. Here is a point when which eliminates not a good educators. What does it mean? You can be really good at chemistry. You may know every laboratory thing or any reaction. You may be really good at what you do, but it may be difficult for you to explain. And as teachers, this is important quality of us. That's why maybe we should think about how is it the best way to teach something. In physics, maybe, for example, it is important to show what you do, not only speaking. You remember, if the kids are kinesthetics, we should, of course, show it and show them what is happening. If it's, I don't know, pivots or what. I'm not really good at physics. Let's take another example. Geography, for example, okay? You may be good at geography, but if you cannot explain it, if you cannot show it on the map or in the Google map or something, then it is not very useful that you know information. Okay, if it is clear, let's go next. Curriculum information. I don't think it is very for you, because I'm sure you know all the curriculum at your school. Okay, and if you don't know, it's important to ask for it in the beginning of the year, that you will do these topics. Okay, in the 7th grade, you go and you should finish these topics, because so I know that it's difficult to teach similar topic or the same topic every year. But here is what we should be, when we should be interesting. Okay, we should find some other ways to teach, because it will be very boring if we do the same thing every year. So about personality and how to develop ourselves, I have many teachers who are adored by students. Sometimes it can be dangerous if it's too much, if the students love teachers too much, but sometimes it can be even for good, because trust me, the favorite subject of students is the one when where the teacher is good, or where the teacher is kind, or maybe she's beautiful, I don't know. And if the student likes you as a person, trust me, he will listen to your subject. And I don't know how it's in your country, but if you approach to a student as a friend and to make him feel that you will understand everything that he is doing, that you also were a student and you understand if he doesn't want to write or something, but it's his responsibility that he does it at home or something. And at that point, you are being an example of a person who is who can be a friend and a teacher at the same time. Intellectual accumulation. It's about personal developmental courses. Think about it again. How can you be a better person? Lastly, I have read an article, and it says, in order to find out what is your job for life, what is your profession, really, not the one that you have chosen at university, but what is your the best profession, is to remember what were you interested in when you were 10 years old. Right now, I will give some seconds for you to think. Try to remember, what did you want, or what you were playing, or what were your best subjects when you were 10 or 11 years old? Let me speak about myself. When I was 10, I was going to theater courses, to an acting courses, and I was feeling myself in my plate. Okay, as it says, I was feeling very comfortable. And sometimes I think if I do my best in psychology, maybe I should go to my nature, which was saying when I was kid that I should be an actor or something. So, have you found out what is your real profession? Okay, I think yes. Next one. As a personal development, we should remember how fast the world is changing and we should adapt to that world. If we don't adapt, we will just fall in this race and we will just lose it. You remember the first day I couldn't send my presentation to you? This is also my mistake because I had to adapt to the Zoom, and maybe I had to look for it. Where is the place to send the presentation or something? And in this topic, Mr. Zikri and Mr. Edi from yesterday, they are really good. They're doing this very fast, and it's appreciating because this is important for today's life. And the last one, additional abilities. Think about again the coronavirus when it was quarantine. Exact work. What did you do at home? Was there any hobbies that you were doing? What are you good at? What is your best, I don't know, music group? Or what kind of movies do you like? Or are you good at cooking, for example? How else could you earn money? Have you ever thought about it? What if your school closes, or I don't know, or if you get fired, or if you stop working as a teacher? What could you else do to earn money? Because we need it to live, right? So, additional abilities are also very important to have it and to recognize it. Maybe today we have to sit and to think, what else can I do good? What if I stop working as a teacher? What can I do? Maybe you should take some more trainings to find it out. Or maybe you can become another professional. Okay, think about it. So we spoke about also a planned life. When you speak about planning, it is not just saying, I want to have a house, I want to have 3 kids, or I want to have a wardrobe full of clothes or something. We do understand that it's not enough, that in order to achieve that plans, we have to plan today, right? Because this is how it happens. Today, tomorrow, time passes so fast that we have to plan every day in order to be able to reach all our plans. And when I was smaller, I used to do a plan like this. Like I wake up at 8 and I go to do exercise at 9 and blah blah blah. And as you also have noticed, it's not working. What should we do? More importantly, take paper. Okay, maybe you have already done it before, and divide it into 3 parts like this. And you can do it every day. You can use stickers if you don't want to use too much of paper. You can use stickers, or you can write with a pencil and erase it every day. So on the left part, you write what is urgent and important to be done today. You write it here. And when you do it, okay, when you are in the process of doing, you can make an arrow to this part. Okay, I'm doing it, I'm in the process. And at the end of the day, before sleeping, write down at the right part, on the third part, what have you already done today, This is visual graph, visual list of your plan for your day. How it helps, because when you just write it, okay, as a list, you may see too much. Okay, it can be too much to do today, and you say, okay, I will do it tomorrow. But when you see that you are in the process, and when you remind yourself that it's important, all of this works to go to the right side of the plan, I think it's going to be more useful for you to live your day. And also use this one. This matrix is also going to make your planning easier. Career plan. How, as a psychologist, I am thinking about my career, and I want to be a professor, for example. Okay, it's not important do I want or not, but let's say I want to be a professor, and I'm writing it in my paper that I want to be when I'm 40 years old. Right now I am 20 something, and I say that I have 15 years, for example, before that being a professor. And to be a professor, there are so many stuff that should be done. Okay, you know it. It is research. It is books that I should write. It is university that I should be teaching at. What else? I should finish a master. I should finish some more academic structure. Even I don't know it right now, and it's bad. And after that, when you write your middle term plans, which should be done each year, for example, amount of all that research, and then you divide it into short term. What should I do right now that my medium term plans are getting done? What should I do right now? Maybe I should learn English or French or German, in which language I want. Maybe I should research what university I want to go to master. So when you see clearly what should you do today in order to achieve your long-term plan, it is easier to your brain to do it, because for 40 years old may seem so much in the future, that I say, okay, I have so much time, it's not important, I can think about it later. But then I divide it into medium term and short term plans, and I start to act. And you also should do like this. Yes, what we wrote before, what is important to me in life. It can be anything, okay? It's just some of the ones that I wrote. It can be family, which is important for any of us. It can be goals. Maybe I want to have 5,000 students graduated from my school, for example. It can be a goal. Maybe I want to be in a good reputation. Maybe I need to be appreciated. Okay, maybe I want to go to the television and to speak there. Maybe I want to be a minister of education or something and to be reputed. It's possible, why not? And your values, of course. And at this point, it's important to share these importances in your life to others. Why? Think about this. Tidiness of house is important for you. Small example, okay? You want your house to be clean always, but your kids don't know about it. They just say that you're cleaning house and that's all. What's the problem? But if you speak to them, look, this is really important, and when you don't follow my instructions, when you don't clean your mess, I feel like this, and this is really making me upset or something. At that point, there's a possibility that kids will be more sensible to you and they will listen that they will clean their mess next time. And then nutrition, sleep, exercise. I don't know, should I speak again and again? We already know that eating is important, and also healthy eating is important. Okay, we try to not eat food in the packages. We try to not eat food from the not reliable companies or something. And we drink lots of food, lots of lots of water. You can look at the statistics, how many people die because of heart, because of the vessels and because of the blood is not liquid enough, and it's difficult for them to breathe, and the heart has to work more and more because the veins and the blood in veins is not going quickly, and the heart has too much of work, and then it can be fatal result. So think about it. It's easy, right? Just drinking water, just 2 liters per day. Don't forget it, and tell it to your whole environment to drink and to eat healthy. Like regular sleep. Actually, fundamental needs that we need according to Maslow are not very much. It is house, okay, we need a place to stay, we should eat, and we should sleep. How many hours should we sleep? It depends according to your age, of course, and according to your organism. But what is normal, what is standard, is 7 hours and 30 minutes. It can be more, it can be less, but not less than 7 hours. What is happening when we sleep less than 7 hours? We are getting irritated. Okay, we don't like anything. We cannot see clearly because our brain isn't ready to work again. Okay, imagine during the day we have so much of information, we have so much of data that we should process during night, and you don't let it. You don't let your brain to process all that information. Of course, brain will say to you, okay, you didn't let me do my resting during night. Why should I work for you, okay, for a person, if you don't look after me well? And what is the time for sleeping is the most important time is, so think about the sleeping time as 3 parts, okay, divided into 3 parts. And the first part out of 3 is the most important. It's even written in Quran. It says that you should sleep first part of your sleep very well, and it means that it's probably from the 11 till 3 o'clock or something. It is really important to sleep. If to speak from biological point of view, there is a hormone which is named serotonin and some others. That serotonin is important for brain to function well, and it is secreting, okay, it is secreting when it is very dark, and in the hours of 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and 3 a.m. or something. But after that, after 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it's not very important. But still, 7 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, remember this. And daily exercise program. Okay, no one says that we should be professional sportsmen, but don't forget that when you exercise, again, lots of useful hormones are secreting, and they are helping for you to be active and to be sober and to feel good, to feel ready to life. And that's why try to do at least 15 minutes of sport each day. It can be just sitting and standing. It can be just moving with your head. It can be just moving with your hands or something. Okay. Yes. And the last part, I guess, here's what we say. We're speaking about, one moment. I think it was time management, right? Eisenhower matrix we have already spoken about, and time in class. I want to link this one. I want to link with the kinesthetic students. You remember, if you are going to give some more minutes to rest in the half of the lesson, we should still manage the time in the class. And when the experience comes and you will be trying more and more, trust me, you are going to be the best at this. We even have had the question about it, I guess. And next, physical care closes. Sometimes we should speak about it. Yes, the topic is not maybe the best and it's not very comfortable, but personal care is very important, because in our school, for example, even I look at the clothes of the teacher, and it's not about being fashion. Okay, it's not about fashion. It's about if that clothes are are fitting that person, if that clothes are really for teacher. Okay, sometimes we have teachers that are coming to school in shorts, or in this kind of um, uh, like, t-shirt, which is very like small. And as a teacher, I really think that we should be able to be an example, and trying to not wear this kind of clothes should be clean and ironed, of course. And what does color mean? We have a teacher at our school, and it says she is wearing sometimes red and green and yellow. Of course, it's fine if you wear it to a party or something, but if it's really doesn't fit, okay, the colors are also important, because you're going to stand in front of the class and they're going to look at your, okay, if they want or not is not important. You're in front of the class and they're looking at what you're wearing, and in that point we should be careful. Personal care, smell, nail, hair, and teeth, just the things that we do every day. Just one more reminding. I remember my teacher when I was in high school. We had the Kyrgyz language teacher. She was having so beautiful nails. I was really adoring that one. I thought that I will be a bigger person and I will also have that kind of nails. They were long, they were colored, but it was beautiful. Okay, but later, right now I am an adult, kind of, and I don't want to do that kind of nail, because I realized that it's not very comfortable, and if you're working on a computer, it's really not comfortable. And we have beautiful and effective speaking. Before that, I want to tell a story about number 4. What is important to me in life? The story is about family. There were only husband and wife in this family. They didn't have kids, and they really loved each other. It was very peaceful family. Even they didn't have kids, they were still together, and they were helping each other every time. And everyone was there for another one if it's necessary. And a wife, she liked the inside of bread, and because she liked inside, she was always giving that part to her husband. And she was thinking, okay, if this part is the best part, so I should give it to my husband because I love him a lot. And what did husband think about? He didn't like the inside, okay, the fluffy part, but he liked corners, which are a little hard. And he was thinking, okay, if this part is the best, so I should give it to my wife because she deserves it and she is the best, so she should eat this part. And during all their life, they were giving each other the part of bread which they liked, but the spouse, another person, didn't. So one day, the husband gets sick a lot and he is already dying. He is saying to his wife, okay, I think it's time for me to go, okay, to heaven. And but I don't want to go before I tell you the truth. I was uh, I was lying to you, not lying. I was pretending that I like what that you give me, the inside of bread, but actually I like the corner. And at that point, it was very shocking because for wife it was the same. She said, "Oh, really? I also don't like the corners, but you were giving them to me, and you were so happy giving them to me that I couldn't tell you that I don't like it." So, what is the meaning of this story? That we should always tell about what is important for us, what is good for us. Sometimes what we like may not be liked by another person. So we should maybe ask if you like or not. Or even if no one asks you, and if you don't feel comfortable, please don't hesitate to say what you feel and how you feel. Yes, after this story, the last one, beautiful and effective speaking. We have languages, lots of, right? You have your language in your country, maybe English, maybe Turkish, maybe some other languages. In my opinion, we cannot say that we fully know one language when we cannot make jokes. And think about it. Can you make jokes in English or can you make jokes in another language? And if you can, that's great. And if you don't, try to make it. Using effective language is not only about language itself, but also it is about being careful with our tone, okay, how we speak. Is it really boring or is it annoying, or are we using the same words again and again? Or and one also important is, do we use a not part always? Okay, here is a one secret also for you. When we use not or no or something, our brain doesn't perceive the word no or not. It just sees the part which is next to it. For example, if I say not good, the brain receives only good part. Why? It's just brain, okay? So you research for it, look how is it better, how can you more use your language effectively, and also don't forget about body language. This is very important also, and diction. If you want to be correctly understood, so work on it, work on your diction, that every sound was heard in the best way and in the correct way. And just develop yourself. Try to read more about what I have talked about. If you have any questions, please email me. This is our Instagram, CR Psychology. If you find and follow, I will be very glad, because we have lots of educations, sometimes in English also. You can see there, or you can ask me in email also. It was really interesting experience, I would say. Thank you, each of you, for coming, for listening, and for giving me an opportunity to touch your life, okay, somehow, and continue you touching other students' lives also. Don't forget to improve yourself, because we are working with the precious part of society, which is kids. Because if let me finish this session with one word, with one quote. It says, if the doctor makes mistake, okay, one person dies, and if a teacher makes mistakes, then the whole population, the whole society may die. So be careful with what you do, and try to do your best. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So there is several questions here.
Yes.
So the questions is, some says that we do not tell our plan to others. They might want you to be failed. That's the first question. That's the first like statement, I think. How do you, what is it, comment on that?
Okay.
And then the second one is, a student do not want to tell us about his plans. Uh, and how about that? And then there's a questions. What if students sleep in the middle of the course and they say, my brain needs to sleep? And
Okay.
then there's,
Mr. Zikri, are you
yes,
reading from the chat box?
yeah.
Okay, I cannot keep all these questions in my mind. Can I read myself and answer?
Okay, please.
Okay, thank you. Um, let's see. If you have questions, okay. How about this power nap, cat nap? Can you explain?
Mr. Junjun?
Short nap. Like a nap.
Okay, short nap.
Is it
Well,
beneficial?
okay.
Like what the students are doing?
If I understood correctly, you mean that short naps during the day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a great possibility for you if you have time. I don't know how your school works, but it is very important and healthy. If you do sleep even 30 minutes in the daytime, it will really help you to recharge. And if you have opportunity, if you have time, please do it, because sleeping during the day, not much, okay, not more than 1 hour. That sleeping, taking a nap, can be very healthy for you. So it's really good that you have asked. Thank you. Next. I have read this story, but it's a fish, not bread. Yes, moral is the same. Okay, thank you for writing nice things here. Okay, let's see. Is our character related with the blood type? I'm not a doctor, but I don't believe it, really, because we have only 4 blood types, right? And if you make a research about what is her character and what is her blood type, I'm sure there is not going to be any connection between that. Or you can find out, okay, research it, nice question, but honestly, I don't think there is a connection. Still, you can ask questions because we have time, and I have energy to answer this. So, speaking of physical care clothing as a part of effective teaching, what might students perceive if the school sets rules like wear proper uniform or have a proper haircut, but some teachers fail to do so? Well, it depends on what kind of uniform is that. Is it just white and black, or is it a uniform like students have?
Yes.
Or is it something that you wear like this? Okay, Mr. Junjun, can you answer, please? What kind of uniform you mean?
Proper clothing, like what you said a while ago.
Okay, only one type.
Yes, like school uniform, something like that, and formal clothing for teachers, like that.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't want to offend if you already have this kind of rule, but I think it might be a little bit flexible. Like, this is the colors what you should wear, or you can give a material, okay? Like, you can make this kind of t-shirt for yourself, and you should wear it every day. At our school, we had, like doctors wear in the like this. It's not like a uniform, but it's like I don't know the name in English.
Coat.
Excuse me, miss. May I?
Yes.
What I mean is like, if what might students think if like the school sets rule like wear your proper uniform, but they fail to observe this to some teachers. I don't mean to offend any teacher here, but uh,
Oh
what
my
might
God.
students perceive? It's like uh,
Okay.
that the students observe why do these teachers do not have like this kind of haircut also, where they were the teachers, something like that.
Uh-huh. Uh, your voice wasn't very clear, but I think it was my mistake that I have understood about teachers, not about students. So if it's about students, then I am for wearing uniform, because I think at the school shouldn't be any differentiation between poor or not poor families, okay? And if they have some uniform, it's good, it's great. But it's also important to control that everyone wears. In our school, unfortunately, we have students who don't wear, who are cutting their skirts or something, and teachers don't say anything. Of course, it's not fair, and other students saying, okay, why isn't she wearing, or why did she change it, or something. That's why for students, a uniform is good. And it is not part of effective teaching, but it's a part of effective administering of school, okay? It's not about teaching, actually, but it's about being taking under control and being fair to all students. Because you can really see the quality of material that is worn by students, and you can see how much money does his like uh, does his parents wear or something. Okay, so uniform is good, but haircut, it is a little bit strange for me. But maybe they shouldn't dye their color and color their hair, for example, maybe. Or maybe they shouldn't have this kind of thing in their head. But about haircut, I cannot say anything, because it can be a rule of your country, and I will say something different. Okay.
Okay, thank you, miss.
Mm-hmm. I heard that in Japan, teachers let students take a nap for a very short period of time during the lesson. Yes, I heard that one too. And I find it really good experience for kids. And I think that it really should be part of school, because after lunch or before lunch, we have 40 minutes of break, and 40 minutes, it's really too much. And maybe 20 out of 40 they could make for sleeping. But how can you find so much place for kids to sleep? Also a question. If I'm not wrong, they were having kind of pillows, okay? They're just putting on their desk and then sleeping. This is also a problem, because that kind of that position for sleeping is not really good. So always there is situations. What do I think about Indonesia? Well, I still have some friends from Indonesia, and I think it's very how can I say? You have really different people. Okay, it's not one type. One woman can be very I don't know, very joyful. Okay, she may make so many jokes, but another one, she will be very introvert or something. Yes, I understand that it's applicable for any nation, but I'm not very close with your culture. If you invite me, I'd like to come, of course. I will not say no if you invite me. And after that, maybe we can still again about Indonesia. We can speak about it again because right now I cannot say too much. Okay. Здесь учителя тоже одевают белый халат. Thank you very much, just good. Thank you. They are coming with their pillows and sleeping in the table. It was like that in Taiwan. Okay. Yes, nice experience. I really appreciate it. For me, it's very important when we think about health of students in the first place. Okay. Do you have any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, Miss Jasgul too. Really try to email me and explain how could you, how is it that you are there? Hatice Usta, I think you are Turkish person. Nice to see you from here also. Okay, I follow Instagram, but there is a function you can translate it. Okay, if you don't know, ask your colleagues, they will show, and you can see the translation in the part of Instagram. Yes, it was really nice to work with you all. Can I ask you something, please? If it's possible, at least half of you open your videos if you hear me, so we can take a picture, right? Oh, nice. You're alive. You are real people. Yes, I took a picture. Thank you very much. And let me take to my phone again. Okay, so I have something in chat again. Okay, sorry, miss, I have problems with my internet before. I didn't realize my video was no, not a problem. It's okay. There are lots of people with the turned off video, so no problem. Mr. Zikri?
Yes.
So do you have anything to tell me?
Okay. For these 3 days, we've learned so much about what is it, color of personality, and then what else? Yesterday, I forgot.
Learning styles?
Yeah, learning styles, and today is the effective teacher feature, which is like a very comprehensive way for the teacher to know themselves and know the students also. And of course, this will very beneficial for the teacher who will start the new academic season on next 2 weeks. So hopefully we can prepare ourselves. We can, as a teacher, know about ourselves better and try to learn about our students later when the students are start to study with us again. Thank you very much, Miss Aiperi. Hopefully we can invite you again as a speaker in the next occasion, hopefully.
Yes.
And thank you very much for your time, your effort, and your presence here. Hopefully, we can the other participants can contact to you and ask something if needed be. Thank you very much. Maybe the final remarks from you.
Okay, we always tell this to the students also when we give any education. We tell you that we have given only a spoon for this world of food, okay? And with this spoon, with this instrument, it's your job to continue to research for more, to find out for more, because it's really little amount of time and it's not possible to speak about everything which is important in our jobs. So I really hope that you're going to continue this education in your own. And if you have any questions, I'm open for your questions. You can ask in Instagram, you can ask in email. If you really need it, I can even give my number in Instagram, okay? So it will be more comfortable for you. I have read all your messages in chat box. Thank you very much. It was too good that I wouldn't want to finish it. I think we should meet again. Okay, take care, everyone. Please don't get sick. Okay, say hi to your. Oh, so cute. Okay. So yes, that's it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Miss Aiperi.
One more.
Oh, one
Next
more.
picture.
Take a picture also. Okay, thank you very much. And I hope that every participant here can learn so much about the psychology for of course, for our student. Thank you very much. I'm your host, Zikri Rahmat Ramadan. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Miss Aiperi.
Much, Aiperi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much,
You're
Miss.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's so interesting.
welcome.
Text me. Text me.
So
Welcome, you're
nice.
welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
It will
your
be Miss
time.
Aiperi answer. We are welcome anyway.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Also,
Have a great day.
You're
Thank
welcome. You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you very much.
okay, that's the dubbing
Yes,
sound
I hope
of Miss
I'm
Aiperi,
going to
but the
visit
sound of
Indonesia.
okay. See you next time.
You're
See you.
welcome.
Hope I meet you there personally. Okay, wait me in Indonesia. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay.
Thank you, Pak Ujang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Zikri.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you.
Okay.
Very much.
Okay.
That's the